Mr. Pancake, you're under arrest!
Don't move!
Get on your belly! Whoa! Get on your belly, Mr. Pancake!
Crime is horrible. There is always a victim whenever there is a crime committed. But when criminals make themselves the victims through their own foolish acts, it's hilarious. Between poisoning yourself while trying to conceal evidence and actively hurting yourself while committing a crime, dumb criminals are quite the spectacle. In this video, we examine some of the funniest criminals. While some get stuck, some get tased, and some straight up injure themselves. At least we know that they're off of the streets and they're being laughed at worldwide. And perhaps they even came across themselves online. Welcome to the dumbest criminals. If you know me, then you know that I love a good police chase. While I've never been in a police chase, I know you better stock up on gas first. Well, it would appear that one hardened criminal would forget that rule. In 2009, a Tacoma, Washington man stole a red utility truck. But he didn't get very far. He would run out of gas within an hour and be arrested. Nice going, Washington. Stay classy. If you're hiding from the cops, stay off of social media. Stay off of your phone. Don't call. Don't post. Don't do anything. That would prove virtually impossible for James Tyndall. Though he had court orders to stay in a drug rehab, he fled. Though he gotten out of state, I guess Facebook was just far too addicting to him. His first mistake was taunting the police. His second mistake was posting the hospital that he was at while accompanying his wife and giving birth. The police would then see this and go and wait for him at the hospital. 911 operators have heard a lot of shocking things, but usually they're called for emergencies, so you can imagine their shock when they overheard a plot of murder. Scott Simmons accidentally sat on his phone and butt-dialed 911 while confessing to a friend that he was planning on murdering a man named Nicholas Walker. Unfortunately, being in a big city, police were not able to find Nicholas in time. Later that night, somebody had reported his murder. Since police already knew who did it, all they would need is to catch Simmons on camera. And they did. They caught both men arguing in front of a Waffle House right before the murder. Simmons was booked for life. Another example of a butt-dial murder luckily did not happen. Larry Barnett accidentally butt-dialed the victim who he was planning on having killed. During a crazy 90-minute phone call, the victim recorded Larry Barnett plotting his assassination. He was even willing to burn a house down with the victim inside of it. The victim gathered the evidence and quickly went to the police. Shortly afterwards, Larry Barnett was arrested. Two things you don't want to do during a crime is drop your weapon or hurt yourself. But for Andre Polax, he would do both. Andre decided to come into his Radio Shack store 6 hours before his shift started, but not to be kind, to rob the place. Andre, ironically, was a giant. The workers took note of that when they called 911. They had reported that they had just been robbed by a giant man. When Andre came into work later, everything was fine, except he had a hand injury, which was weird, because the robber who was here 6 hours ago had injured himself by accidentally tasering his own hand. Andre would go on to admit to his crimes. He was fired from Radio Shack and subsequently arrested. You know, social media has become a theme in this video. We've learned not to post your crimes, we've learned not to intimidate police online, and now we're about to learn why you also shouldn't trust all social media posts. Chastity Hobson found her own arrest to be hilarious, as seen in this mugshot, and we agree. It's pretty funny. Granite Shoals Police Department posted this post in a tongue-in-cheek manner. They didn't really expect people to fall for it, but they clearly had underestimated Chastity. Fearing for her life, she reported to the police department, shockingly, with the drugs. You know what happens next. You think that if you didn't get your way during a robbery, you just leave, right? Well, what if you came back? That's exactly what these two Chicago men did. These two tried to rob Clifton's Bar and Grill in Chicago. The manager shrugged them off and told them in a last-bit attempt just to come back later, saying that they were too busy to open up the safe. Surprisingly, the two men left. The manager decided to call the police anyway and had them hang out for a while. The two literally decided to come back that night. Just like everybody else on this list, they were promptly arrested. Everybody loves a good selfie, but maybe don't take it on a stolen phone? If only Ashley Keast had watched this video. He stole the woman's phone and thought that just simply clearing the apps would be enough to get away with his crime. However, his love of selfies would ultimately be his downfall. Ashley loved social media. However, he never switched the SIM card. So whenever he uploaded his pictures onto WhatsApp, he also sent friends of the phone's owner his picture. Nice going, Ashley. You get the pattern here. Most of these people wouldn't be in jail if it wasn't for social media. If you've learned anything in this video, it's to stop commenting on social media. Especially your own wanted post. Nicholas Edmond, aka Sin Demon, ooh, what a name, did exactly that. He commented on the fact that the sheriff called him ugly on a Facebook post, while also exposing his location. Now that is a dumb criminal. Most robbers prefer ski masks, but I guess if you're in a hurry and are in a pinch of money, I guess a bag works. Jamie Neal decided to rob a gas station, but I guess he didn't have enough money to buy a ski mask, because here he is in his infamous plastic bag. He and his accomplice were subsequently arrested and demasked. I bet the demasking felt just like Scooby-Doo. But what about criminals that get stuck while committing a crime? Well, sometimes they're left there just to die. But if you're lucky like this one man, you get to call the police and get saved. Jesse Baru tried to break into a house via their chimney whenever he got lodged in the middle of it. He admitted that he was committing a crime and was promptly saved by the police. Still covered in ash and dirty with coal, they hauled him off to the police department, where he was later arrested for attempting a burglary. Though he was arrested, he is one of the lucky ones who escaped alive. Work is so boring. How far are you willing to go to make sure shop closes up early? For one 18-year-old, he went the extra mile. He called a SWAT threat into his own job. This led to federal officials showing up and his prompt arrest. And for our final dumb criminal tonight, we have chosen our favorite one. This is Talk Death to Me's favorite criminal. Do you remember playing Duck Hunt whenever you were little? Do you remember the little gun that it came with? You would press it up against your TV screen for an easy win. Would you be able to tell the difference between that gun and a real gun during a robbery? Well, obviously, yes. A teenager tried to stick up a gas station with one and was promptly arrested. Is there a story that you want Talk Death to Me to talk about? Is there something you're eager to share and want to share with us and the world? Comment below and you could be featured in our next video. As always, if you liked what you saw, please like and subscribe. And an effort to help our local Jane and John Doe community, we will always end each video from now on with a featured case. If you know somebody with this tattoo and you have not seen them for the past 2 years, please reach out to the Essex County Police Department.